Alright, welcome back to another episode of my movie review series. Episode 50. Now, yesterday I said that I was going to come back and do something very different. And as you can see, things are very different. It's Hauntober. Hashtag Hauntober. Started right now. Nothing but pure horror films from here on out, from the 1st to the 31st. Now, tonight, I will be doing a movie called A Nightmare on Elm Street. The original from 1984, starring Amanda Weiss, Heather Langenkamp, John Saxon. You may know him from Black Christmas. Robert Englund as Fred Krueger, and introducing Johnny Depp. Who knew that cat would go on to be a real big star in 30 years later? Yeah, I tell you, man, this was it. Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. This movie, it set another bar up in the horror genre. I mean, 1984, all we got was Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers before him. And we had a huge slew of horror films from 1980 all the way down to 83. But when 84 hit and Elm Street came out, oh man, the whole landscape changed, Jack. Oh, it changed. And for the better, too. Yeah, this is something very fresh that coming at you. For once, who didn't have a killer that didn't wear a mask, but instead severely burned, wears a dirty brown hat, and he got these knives for fingers. Oh yeah, Fred Krueger, baby. This was the one. This was one that would become legend. Be up there with the heavyweights of Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees. This was the one. So yeah, I tell you, yeah, I'm just gonna go and name off a whole bunch of moments from this movie, because there were a lot of great moments. I mean, of course, you had the Janet Leigh type moment with Amanda Weiss. You know, you thought she would be the one to be the the star of the movie. You know, to be the final girl or everything like that. But nah, man. In like what, the first 30 minutes of the movie, she get off Freddy Claw in her dream. So yeah, I tell you, yeah, and to say the name Freddy, no, it's Fred. Name Fred. That's his. That's how they That's how they portrayed him. Later he was named Freddy, and that stuck. But I always knew him as Fred, so that's why I keep calling him. That's why I keep calling him Fred Krueger. You know, that sounds a lot more better. I mean, you call him Freddy Krueger, it's like you're real good friends with him. Name's Fred. Friends call me Freddy. You know, shit like that, you know. But yeah, you know, I always knew him as Fred, so that's why I called him, man. That's why I've been calling him Fred Krueger. And that's what we got here, man. This was it. So yeah, you know, yeah, the new face of evil. Yeah, the razor sharp claws on a glove, and the best moments in this movie, yeah, like what Amanda Weiss's character Tina, yeah, she gets off in her bed, you know, dragged up in the ceiling, blood smearing everywhere. You get that, and then we get the dream that Nancy has in the middle of class, middle of English class. Yeah, Freddie coming stalking her. Go to Freddie. So yeah, she burns herself to wake up. And that's one of the things that really threw you. Yeah, one of the things that really threw you, especially in the end of the first act when they took Nancy to the dream clinic, the sleep clinic. You know, she had that dream. We didn't see her have the dream, but we saw her sleep, and we saw her started to stir a bit. Yeah, she wakes up and she pulls the hat out from under the covers. Yeah, I grabbed something from my dream. And her mom asks her, yeah, where did she get it? Yeah, she tell her, I grabbed it off his head. And that right there, man, the look on everybody's face, that is when we knew that things were 100% different. It was going to be off the level of maximum craziness and awesomeness at the same time. But yeah, man, I tell you, yeah, for her to pull the hat out of the dream, yeah, that gave you the indication of this is how we're going to beat this guy. All we gotta do is take him out the dream world, take him out. When the second we wake up, all we gotta do is just grab a hold of him. And yeah, she figured that out later on. Yeah, that's what she did. And here's one of my favorite parts of this movie, Yeah, not only she set traps all around her house, the deadly home alone type of situation here, but yeah, the red sledgehammer up on the door, had that sucker rigged. So when the door opened, sledge would come down. Oh, hit Freddy dead in the stomach, boy. I tell you. Yeah, I tell you, that's still one of the coolest things and one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Still to this day. As many times I watched this movie. And I watched it with a friend of mine too. Yeah, and she loves Freddy. Many times I watch this movie. That's still funny to me. But yeah, yeah, they found a way to beat him, once you get him out of the dream, get him into the real world. And then, in theory, you turn your back on him, take away his power, and that's how you beat him. Yeah, since Freddy was built off of fear. Yeah, since his power was built off of fear, that was the way to beat him. Take his power from him. You take your fear and give it right back to him by taking his power from him. And I tell you, yeah, turn your back on him, he won't get you. Yeah, just. Oh! But yeah, I'll tell you though, man, this was a real good movie though. This was one of the best, and I'll tell you, yeah, one of the best movies of the Elm Street uh, film franchise. And this is coming from me. Okay. Subjective opinion. But yeah, this was one of the best movies. As a matter of fact, throughout this week, throughout this first week of October, I'm going to give you my favorite Elm Street films throughout this week. 8 films in the franchise. Well, 9 if you count Freddy vs. Jason, but I already talked about that. Yeah, 8 films in this franchise. I'm going to give you only 4 of them. So you stick around. Keep it locked right here. This movie I rated a 5 out of 5. So you keep it locked right here. Because that was my review. And I'm sticking to it. Oh, wait a minute. Before I go, I just want to give off another favorite moment. Of course, we all know what it is. The death of Glenn, Pull my man under the bed and pull my man inside the bed. And boom. The huge geyser of blood spraying all over the ceiling, all over the bedroom. The best kill, one of the best kills ever. So yeah, man, I tell you, that was my review. I'm sticking to it. Now, in a couple of days, I'll be back to do another movie review of Elm Street. Which one? Well, you're just going to have to wait and see. But until then, check out my other shit right here. Subscribe to me right here. 'Cause show off.